So you want to play Bad to the Bone for a wedding. What could be better? I was just talking to somebody yesterday, as a matter of fact, who said, have you ever played Sweet Child of Mine? And I said, as a matter of fact, I played it for a wedding. Why not play some good, hard rock and roll for a wedding? So a couple of things that you're going to need, maybe you know this already. Two very important things before you get started with Bad to the Bone is that, first of all, the guitar is tuned to what's called an open G tuning. And that is the low string is tuned down to D, the fifth string to G, and then you've got D, G, and B like normal, and then your high E string you're going to tune down to D as well. So you have a nice G chord if you just strum the open strings. So that's the first thing. Second thing you're going to need is a slide, and it could be either a glass slide or a metal slide, doesn't really matter, but you need something to slide up and down those strings. Okay, so make sure you have those two things. You know probably the notes already. You've got the two main strings you're going to focus on at first are the inner strings, the D and the G. And so then at the 5th fret, we'll open first, and then the 5th fret, open, 3rd fret, and then open. So that's the main riff. And you may know that already, but the question is, how do we make this interesting? We don't want to just play over and over and over. We want to add a little something to it, a little flair. So what I would suggest is there's a few different things that you can do just to kind of throw in some little variations. Obviously, you want to start out with your main riff, and you can either do that with just your fingers, like that, or you can do it with the slide. That might give it a little bit more authentic Bad to the Bone sound, doing it with the slide. Okay? So what I would suggest is starting off with just that iconic riff, silence. Silence. And maybe do that 4 times, because it's kind of like these horns blasting and calling everybody together like something important is about to happen. And then you can come in with a slide, and what I would do is slide all the way up to the 12th fret. Now when you do that, so you just keep that riff going, but in that silence part, now you're adding, and with that slide up to the 12th fret, you can do any number of things. You can do both strings together. I'm doing kind of a riff there, or you can pick the strings separately, so kind of a thing. And then those are just, this whole time I've only been on the 2 inner strings. You can go beyond that, include the 2nd string. Include the 1st string. Play all 4 strings. Play all 6 strings. Okay, so with each one, you can do something a little bit different to add a little bit of variety. So you've got your main riff, so what I would suggest, what I would recommend is thinking of this in groups of 4. So for example, you start out with your initial riff, silence, and do that 4 times. Then go to the riff with the little fills, okay, and then maybe do that 4 times. And then another thing you can do is start just kind of chunking on the G string, which would be the 5th string. And then you can go back to, so you do that 4 times, and then you can add those riffs again. Okay, so just know that each one of those sort of ideas carries a little bit different flavor. So with this silence, you're kind of creating this, hey, what's going on type of vibe. And then with this groove, yeah, you're kind of creating a motion, like things are moving now. With this other thing, you're really opening things up, okay? So those are a few different things that you can kind of piece together and weave together that can cover some time. If you want, the kind of the next level way to make it, a little bit more interesting would be to try to add the melody in there. So the melody is, now on the day I was born. So it's just, Edna spoke up, said leave this one alone. She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone. So there's 4 different things you could do, okay? So just to recap, the first one is just the riff with silence. The second one is the riff with the fills. The third one is the riff with the grooving low G. And then the fourth one is the melody. Okay, so with the melody, it's, so you got your F, which is 3rd fret on the 4th string, up to the 5th fret. And then you can give a little bend. Okay, so that other note is the B flat on the 3rd fret, 3rd string. Oh, and one super important thing you gotta have is a cool looking black guitar that's all black everywhere. Like everywhere you turn, man, it's black. Only that will suffice. Kidding on that one, but enjoy. Have a great time playing Bad to the Bone for your friend's wedding.